Infinity Nikki, an absolute torrential meltdown due to infolds of horrent anti-consumer practices. Damn, going in hard there. Right then, so this is from a day one player. As a day one in Infinity Nikki player, I wanted to give a bit more context to the previous post regarding the apology because things are much worse than they appear. 1. It all started arguably with the Steam wishlist rewards. They initially promised 10 pulls for hitting 100,000 wishlists with a follow-up surprise reward for hitting 200,000. Instead, they retroactively changed the 100,000 reward to 2 pulls and made 200,000 10 pulls. Like, what the hell? Like, that is insane already. And this isn't even the crux of things here. This is a way to you don't do that in gacha, right? You just don't do that. Like, you just have to suck that up as it is what it is kind of situation. I remember PGR messed up doing things like that on launch, didn't they? They gave away too much currency. This is different. This is just way different. This is worse because this is like, it's 10 pulls, man. Like, just damn, tight bastards. Completely removing the original surprise reward. Okay, so we've got a picture of before and after here. So let's have a look here. Yeah, whatever. Oh man, I hate this now. I'm not consenting to all of your things. All right, we'll confirm the choices. So here we can see the actual what's it here for 100,000. More wishes, final surprise. Oh, okay, right, okay. Okay, alright, okay, cool, we've got the image there, but let's carry on anyway, let's carry on. The community naturally lost their fucking minds. I can't really see what was going on in that image, if I'm honest. The community naturally lost their fucking minds, naturally, and after a day of rioting, Infold backed off and gave the 10 pulls plus 10 additional pulls as a reward for hitting 200,000. See, you know, if they just hadn't been tight bastards, they would have just had to give away 10 pulls. Now they've had to drop 20 and look bad, right? It's, you know, it shows that this just does not work for companies doing this shitty stuff. People were already very unhappy with the longest patch so far, 1.4 being the patch with the least amount of content, so this did little to appease the community. People are still smouldering. Give me a sec, let me just go let this dog out. Or, version 1.5 is teased, and along with it, the Sea of Stars, which is a core aspect of Nikki games. People are super excited. The art looks amazing. They're going to allow people customization via dyeing that lets you change colours of all your clothing. Pretty cool for a game that is a clothing gacha game. So you don't pull characters in this game, right? You pull clothing, right? So actually having the ability to customize those is pretty big, really. Sentiment is at an all-time high after the developer livestream, and people are hyped as hell for 1.5. Unfortunately, right? Didn't last. As the data miners get to work, some very concerning things are coming to light. Namely, the 2 new 5-star banners will be 11 pieces each. Previously, most 5-star outfits have been 8 to 10 stars, with one 11-star outfit in the very first banner. It takes 20 pulls to get one 5-star piece, so bumping the outfit count from 9 to 10 to 11 is each a 20 pull increase to max pity. People cope saying that those are just data mines. It won't be like that. Surely they wouldn't, etc, etc. Sentiment is still high. People are still excited. So that's wild, that is. That is absolutely wild. It takes 20 pulls to get one 5-star piece. So bumping the outfit count from 9 to 10 to 11 each is a 20 pull increase to max pity. So they're adding in what? They're adding in an extra 40 pulls there, right? An extra 40 pulls. If I'm working that out right. Yeah, I don't exactly know how the gacha system works, but it's 8 to 10 stars, so I'm guessing that's like the amount of pieces you've got in there. The outfit, I guess. I don't know. But all I know is you're going to be pulling more to get what you were getting before for less, which sucks, right? That is shady. That's like basically, you know, your 5-star banners, your SSRs just automatically bang. Oh, all of a sudden there's an extra 20, 40 pulls potentially on there for the max pity. Not a good look at all, and I think most people would riot in most communities, wouldn't they? But as he follows up with this as well, you do always have the people who are like, yeah, it's not going to happen, it's not going to happen, which I'm guessing from this post they were wrong, right? Launch day, absolute fucking mayhem. The entire launch is an absolute disaster from every angle, whether it's monetization, design, stability, you name it. 8. PS5 players are locked out completely. Most mobile players are as well. Those that can get into the game are faced with a blank screen or a crash. That sounds very familiar. I don't know where I've heard that before. Don't know where I've heard that before, chat. It's weird, that isn't it? and you can't actually make any progress. PC players are able to get in and play, but everything is an absolute mess. You're dumped immediately into an unskippable tutorial sequence. Everything is a glitchy, laggy mess. Eventually, you get dropped into the fabled sea of stars, except there's zero content, and the very small tasks that do work are also a glitchy mess. Oh, did I mention this was a huge co-op update? You're supposed to be able to optionally interact with other players in the Sea of Stars, except that too is a buggy disaster that doesn't work. 9. On the lore front, the entire story of the game was retconned. Somebody mentioned this as well, actually. I think it was earlier, yeah. Somebody mentioned this. The entire story of the game was retconned. Where have we heard that as well? Which I think negatively affected the initial story of a game. Wuthering Waves wasn't like a game destroying thing, but I think it did negatively affect the story. Whereas before, you were isekai'd into the fantasy world thanks to your mother's old dress, as well as a mysterious connection to a woman named Enna. You are now in a multiversal slot fest. All of the previous intro story are being removed for new players, and everyone is now part of this multiversal Nikkiverse. What that is trying to prevent the end of the universe. No context, no elaboration, no explanation. You just dumped into this retcon as soon as you open the game. Apparently, you have already destroyed the world and are now going back in time to save it or something. Why would they do that? Why would they do that? That's wild. That is so wild. Building up a story. Like, obviously for the new players, they're just going to experience that anyway. But for the old players, just literally saying everything you did prior to this just didn't matter and we're just doing something new now. Like, what the hell, man? That is such a weird choice to make. It's one thing, you know, when stories get tweaked a little bit to make them a little bit more engaging at the start. You know, maybe yachts cut down, sequences are changed slightly just to tighten things up a little bit. But to literally retcon the game, that is wild, man. That is wild. And as far as I'm aware, people seem to really like the context of this game initially. Right, I don't know. As I say, I haven't played it. Right, 10. Here we go. On the monetization front, indeed, both banners are 11 pieces, meaning the max pity of 220 pulls. So was it what before 180 then, I guess? So it was 180. So like 20 pulls more than a guarantee on something like Wuthering Waves, right? So, okay. All right. So 180. So it's gone up to 220 now. Yeah. So an extra 40 pulls, I believe. And that's only for the base outfit. Plus one recolor. To get the final evolution, I'm assuming is that like copies, you need to pull the entire outfit again. 440 pulls. But it doesn't stop there. They added more paid items that are just decorations, meaning they can't be equipped to Nikki as outfit pieces. They added a bathtub. They marked up at $70. And then slapped a 79% tag on it to pretend they're selling you a deal at $10. Mind you, there is no housing system yet, so players are furious. They keep trying to sell the... Wait. What the hell? Okay, all right, here's a bath. Here's a bed. Here's some items. We'll get the house to you at some point soon, right? What the fuck, dude? Mind you, there is no housing system yet. So players are furious. They keep trying to sell these decoration cosmetics that have barely any usage at this point. The game feels like a generic Chinese gacha clone. Sorry, my nose is running. You know, the ones with 90%, minus 90% tag slapped on everything. Oh, this package was originally $999.99. So is that's their advertisement? Is the, oh, this was $1,000 before, but it's not now. It's not now. Such a good deal, right? We just pretended it was marked up at this insane price. So it's a really good price now. It's a really good price. That is insane. That is so insane. Damn, man. This is making Wuthering Waves look absolutely insane at the moment with their issues, right? You know? Not that they're incredibly bad anyway, but there's issues. This is making them look like a golden child. So this is what I think sometimes, you know, when there's a slight issue with somebody's favourite game and they're just like, well, he didn't doing that. It's like, bro, really? Okay, all right, let's move on to the next one. This is insanity. This is actually way worse than I thought it was. All I thought that was going on was, oh man, people are going to have to spend more on pulls. This is insane. 11. The hype dying system has 90% of the palette colours locked behind a new currency. Okay, so that's wild then. I was going to say, if they'd have come out with that first, then that probably wouldn't have been an issue, because having a game that's based around a dress gacha and allowing people to say, like, advertising that you're going to be able to adjust the colours, that's kind of big, that is, really, you know what I mean? That's actually kind of big. That's like being able to, like, change the visuals. That's maybe kind of like getting free skins. for 5 stars in a sense, almost, isn't it? Not quite, but you know what I mean. So then 90% are now locked behind a paid new currency. The only source for this currency is from the monthly shop, which is super limited. You wouldn't be able to unlock every pallet for one 5-star outfit, even if you save this monthly currency for a year. Oh my god. The dying pallets must be unlocked for each piece at a time, instead of the whole outfit. And the most desirable colours, pink and black, are locked to 5-star outfits only. The pallets for 4-star and 3-star outfits are far more restrictive, but they also require premium currency to unlock. Of course, the only way to get the pallet currency is, you got it, the dollar bills, y'all, the doll hairs. 12. Man, this is still going. This is still going. Like, this is insane. This makes Black Beacon look absolutely brilliant at the moment. 12. The Endgame. Contest originally was promised to run every 14 days. This is the biggest source of income for free to play. They have been steadily creeping up the length of time each contest runs, directly reducing the income for all players. 1.5 is going to have the biggest length of time for each stage until they slightly backtracked with their apology below. Okay, let's look to the apology then, because, boys, this looks like it needs some kind of apology, right? This is actually wild. This might be some of the worst practices that I've seen outside of, like, you know, these trash little mobile games that are just, like, trying to rinse it off the bat. Like, because this is a proper game, isn't it? Now, it might not be the kind of game you're all looking for, but, like, it looks like a proper game. This is insane. This is insane. Diabolical, right? Diabolical. The apology. They gave a half-baked non-apology, saying the 11 pieces were necessary to expand the design of the dresses. Oh, yeah, because that's the only way, right? They couldn't just make the dresses look better. They had to charge you more. What? But they promise they won't go to 12 or more unless they do. Wink, wink. But we promise to tell you first if you want to screw the fans over again. Their explanation makes no sense, as both of the 5-star banners are long dresses that completely cover Nikki's legs, meaning the socks were totally not necessary. Oh, wow. Wow. That's insane. So basically, obviously they're not, but it's tantamount to the same thing. Oh, we're going to charge you for the underwear. By the way, you're never going to see that. What the heck? That's insane. So one of the pieces that you've got to pay for, you don't ever get to see because the dresses cover them. And only there to bump the pity count up to 220. For proof, users were able to log on immediately after maintenance found that even in the intro screen and cutscenes, Nikki is not wearing socks when wearing the new 5-star outfit. Hold up, we gotta look at this. What? No way. That's crazy. You gotta, wow. You gotta pay for that. It's not even shown off there because they were like, yo, we don't need that because you're not going to see it even though you can see it there. That's insane. I'm actually kind of flabbergasted. It takes a lot usually to shock me. This is insane. This is actually insane, chat. I can't believe this. I can't believe it. So at this point, it's obvious they bumped the outfits to 11 pieces, slapped some socks on it, and Hulk players would just roll over. What's even funnier is that the thing is as well, we had to take it to 11, you know, because it was necessary for the design. But oh, by the way, here's the design us showing it off without the necessary thing. That's fucking insane. Okay, he's obviously bumped the outfit to 11 pieces, he slapped some socks on it, and Hulk players would just roll over. What's even funnier is that before fixing any of the bugs, they pushed a 30 megabyte hotfix to put socks on the Nikki in the cutscene, but players were too fast and caught them anyways. Caught in 4K. Caught in 4K. Actually, caught in 4K with the hand in the cookie jar. Red-handed, chat. Unbelievable. That is wild. You can use it on other outfits if you want. That is insane, that is. Somebody saw that go up. Probably saw a post go up on Reddit. It was like, shit! Hotfix, hotfix, hotfix. Oh my god, that's wild. 14. For the endgame contest cycle, their apology says they'll make it bi-monthly every 16 days, so it's still longer than what it was, which is still worse than the originally promised 14-day cycle. Anything to fuck the players, even in an apology. Both the CN and global community are in absolute meltdown mode. Boycotts, riots, you name it. I'm sure I've missed a bunch of stuff, but at this point, the game and the community is just in an absolute shambles. Every other post on the Infinity Nikki subreddit is outrage. They retcon the story. Dang, I actually thought the old story start was very charming because it was so open-ended and carefree. Like, you go into an old attic and find a magical dress and it whisks you away into a fairy tale-like world, and that's it. From there on, you're set free to explore and have fun. Right? Oh, I thought that, because I remember seeing that. Like, you're picking the dress up and then you kind of get isekai'd off. Not for me, but I felt like, man, you know, Disney princess girls are going to absolutely love that. And then they were like, nah, man, we need some Marvel multiverse shit here. What the fuck? Insane. Absolutely insane. These guys have got some work to do, right? Because if this is true, if CN's angry, EN's angry, yeah. How'd you come back from this? How'd you come back from this? I don't know how you come back from this. I guess. Oh, saying that though, isn't the gacha revenue up to date, chap? Isn't the gacha revenue up to date? Now, this is probably something that won't take effect right away. We'll be interested to see what's going on in the gacha revenue.